right after the show, ladies and gentlemen, that Agnes is going to go take off her smock and go and do some painting, right? Because you paint.
Door
She
frames.
is.
But
This
today
is
that will be door frames.
it's a Renaissance woman, ladies and gentlemen. She does the painting, she does the taxes, and she is a wedding officiant. She does all the
Coach
things.
relationship.
Yeah, listen. Out and the bereavement, right?
Yes,
Let's
yes,
talk about
yes.
that as well. This is a
Renaissance woman,
Renaissance
yes.
woman. She does
That should be
everything.
behind my name, Agnes Amasana, Renaissance woman.
Renaissance woman. Ladies and gentlemen, the show today is going to be about uh, a tax preparation pep talk by none other than Agnes Amazano herself, the Tax Resolutions and Bookkeeping LLC. It is currently, as you are watching this, if you're watching it live, it is tax season, but she's not just going to talk about regular taxes. She's going to talk about the type of stuff that she does, which is usually the resolutions for people who have issues. Okay. So, right after this, I'm going to give you the tax preparation pep talk. Okay. So, stay tuned right after our little intro here. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to another episode of Love, Death, and Taxes. My name is Ryan O'Neill Williams. My co host is.
Agnes Amasano.
Yes. And we are going to be talking today about, Agnes is going to be giving you a tax preparation pep talk. Why do people need a pep talk, Agnes?
Well, usually when you mention IRS, Uncle Sam, that kind of puts a fear into your heart. Like,
Run out of the
okay.
room.
Oh my goodness, taxes, taxes. Do I have to pay taxes? So, yeah.
Oh,
So, it's very very important, and we mentioned before on other shows that yes, your receipts, all the documents, all the 1099s, all the 1096, and everything W2s, it has to be ready for all your regular taxes. What I have noticed that clients that they approaching me with their problems usually, um, when they know that they own taxes, they skip filing their current taxes. I'm not sure if this is thinking that I'm just not going to remind them about myself, or maybe they'll forget about me when I'm not going to tell them I own the money. I'm not sure exactly what is it. You're laughing. But, that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to do it. You're just prolonging process of finding right resolution for the situation, for the problem. So I will encourage everyone to be current with their taxes. Even if you don't have money to pay it, please file your taxes.
okay.
Um, yes, don't skip your filing taxes. It's very, very important because you're just incurring more penalties for not filing. You know, there's one thing having some penalties and interest, which we might, while you're looking for resolution, we may resolve some, not everything, but some. Why occurring more problems, right?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
yes. So be current with your taxes. Also, when you're filing your taxes, make sure this is one of what we're going to talk about more details as your status that you are filing. A lot of people forgets that head of the household has most of the deductions. Of course, if you are qualified for it, but it's very important to make sure that there's a right status of filing. So
Okay.
that's one thing. So when you receiving tax notices, when you're receiving those little love letters from IRS, you owe us that money, this or that. Call us. We'll help you. Um, don't throw them out. don't be afraid to approach them. Look for someone like me or me to help you. And this is the whole process. First, we have to make sure that you're current with your taxes. That's why it's so important that you are current with every single year. If you have your business, don't skip filing sales taxes.
Okay.
Don't skip filing payroll taxes, your quarterlies, because nothing can be done. No offer can be presented to the government until you are current with everything. So if you are owning money and you are afraid that, oh my goodness, I don't have money to pay, or this year's going to be a lot, still please file. It's
Yeah.
better to tell them this is what my situation is. So when you're approaching me, we have everything on hand, instead
Right.
taking additional month or two or three to catch up with your situation.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking about a while ago. I used to have this problem where, yes, I would procrastinate about the taxes, and I would actually try to file 2 years at the same time. Sometimes because I was afraid that the year before, what I was going to have to pay money to the IRS, and then the year after, I actually knew that I was going to get money back. So I was like, yeah, the two of them will just squits out one another. They'll cancel one another out. Is that a good? And it's
No.
a rhetorical question. I know this is a bad strategy, but what are the repercussions of such a strategy?
Well, it costs you more.
Yes,
Costs you more.
right.
Because see, this is the situation. Number one, if you are not filing on time, you're
Mhm.
paying penalty.
Right,
You're paying penalties for not filing on time. That
right,
money could be saved right there, right? Now, when you know you're going to own money, if this is just 1 year, you can have a payment agreement.
right.
Payment agreement can be obtained right when you are filing taxes at the same time, and this way they will give you a schedule. You have 4 payments, 6 payments, whatever. How you paying? You can obtain a payment agreement up to, if you own up to $10,000 by yourself without paying anyone for helping you on their website on
Right.
irs.gov.
Okay.
So it's easy to do, and you're saving yourself money, and you're saving yourself some sleepless nights thinking that, oh my goodness, they're
Right.
gonna go after
They're
either
gonna
my
come for
paycheck or
me.
my bank accounts.
They're
Yeah.
coming for me.
So it's simple. It's simple task that can be done by anybody.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
If you own more money, then we going into different deeper situations. But majority of my clients who own money, they have minimum 5 to 7 years that we have to catch up with filing the taxes, and
Okay.
that's right there, several $1,000s in penalties just for not filing on time.
That's a problem. Okay.
Yes,
We
and
don't,
just, and
we
just
don't
think
want that.
and just think how much longer the resolution takes,
Yes.
because we have to get all the documents, all the right documents. Sometimes I have to request transcripts to get all the right numbers, because you don't want to file taxes with wrong information. So
Okay.
that takes a longer time, sometimes months, before I can actually reach out to the government on my client's behalf and ask, can we please either reduce this amount that they own, or you know ask for a payment agreement that will be actually that my clients can handle without any problems.
Right.
That takes time. Don't prolong. Don't create problems for yourself. Just do it.
Right.
Just do it. And in faster you're going to approach someone to help you with your problem, it's better for you as well. Every year that you are waiting, there are penalties and interest being accumulated. You're paying more and more and more. And a lot of times the penalties and interest coming to be more than actually the principal owed,
Right.
because the principal in just a matter of 3 years can double.
Yeah.
What is
Double.
the point of waiting? Don't procrastinate.
Yeah, we did the don't for, but now don't create problems for yourself. Penalties can accrue. That's right. Don't procrastinate. That's another one. That's right.
Yes,
Don't
and the
skip.
importance don't skip, no, and the importance of
Calling
keeping
to get love
records.
letters. And don't create problems for yourself. Penalties can accrue. I'm trying to make it fun and funny, but it's a serious thing, and people will, you don't
It
don't
is
don't mess
scary.
around with the IRS. Yeah,
It
that's
is,
not a
it is
problem you
scary.
want
You
to
have
have.
no idea how many people that you would expect that, they are executives and they're powerful people, but when IRS knocks to the door, because they will come and visit if you're
Yeah,
not going to answer, and they are being terrified. It's you cannot escape that. You can really cannot escape that. So it's
well,
it's
let's keep
very
coming.
simple. Yeah,
Yeah,
keep all your records, keep filing on time, and when you come to me, we have to there is a lot of paperwork that
okay,
that
yeah.
it's a lot of paperwork, a lot of financial statements and
Yeah. And
medical.
that's a good reason to file on time and early too, because if you got to gather all the papers and the financial statements and figure out what you need, you don't want to wait until it's April 13 or April 14, the day before the taxes are actually due, to start pulling everything in. Because if you don't have all the documentation, now you're late because you didn't start early. So starting early is a good idea too, right?
Yes, starting early, being prepared, absolutely, and being organized. Being
Mhm.
organized, it helps a lot. Have everything in one place, so this way, if you have one folder with all the papers, it's easier to organize them, to separate them. This is my medical bill. This is this bill. This is that bill. So we can organize everything much faster. Medical bills are very important. If you have any, that are important as well to keep, because if you are experiencing hardship due to medical conditions or any other situations in your life, you have to have documentations for
Right.
that, so I can prove on your behalf that this is the reason why you fall into this situation. If you
Right.
have any agreements in a partnership or any corporation and that partnership caused you problems, because I did have situations like that. You're getting a new partner in, and okay, they're buying you off, but you're still there. Your name is still being there, and you're being responsible. You have access to somebody else is running the business, but you still have access to your checkbook, to business checkbook. You still have fiduciary responsibilities,
Ah,
and you are still responsible for paying taxes.
I have
Although you think,
two clients who have had this problem where it
yeah,
is clear that they were switching over. They were either purchasing the business or they were selling the business, and the other person was still involved. The other, the buyer or the seller was involved. There was an overlap, and because of that overlap of them still being in it, and that person coming in, or vice versa, them coming in, it seemed to cause confusion for them, and they actually had difficulties with the IRS because of that. They should have come to you, but this is a long time ago. So when
yeah.
I do have this problem again, Agnes, with one of my clients, I'll send them over to you.
Yes. So is IRS or New York State?
Yeah,
There are different situations, because when it comes to businesses, we're dealing
yeah,
with different kind of taxes.
yeah,
So yes, it's very important to have everything written down, and before you um, ask anyone to join your business, or you're selling, have all the documentations, have everything signed and notarized, and keep those documents, because they are being extremely helpful, just
right.
like the medical bills. If you want to prove something, you need that on hand.
Good.
So and there is another thing that I need to mention.
Okay.
um, when I will file for my client and obtain reduction, significant reduction. That means the offer in compromise is being accepted.
Mhm.
It's not a party time, it's organization time, because for 5 years, 5 years, any kind of credit you're going to have, it's going to IRS. And for 5 years, you have to be on time with your taxes, not forgetting again, or being just happy and forget about everything, for the next several years. And if you're going to default on your taxes 5 years after having offer in compromise accepted, they will take it back.
uh, Explain to people what what an offer in compromise is again, because this is very important. I only recently learned about this as I've been, chit chatting with you. And I'm gonna say, don't party after you get an offer in compromise. Stay the course. It's not the
Yes.
time for a weekend at Bernie's. Okay, you need to calm down,
Maybe one, maybe one.
right?
No.
Explain.
Offering compromise is a significant reduction of the amount owned. That means, let's say you own. I'm going to give you the numbers that I was able to reduce, which is, let's say, 180,000, and offering compromise was $10,000, payable
Right.
in um, 2 years. You have different ways of paying, either lump sum, 5 payments of a lump sum, or 1 year payment plan, or 2 years payment plan, of that offer, of the amount that we were able to get for the client. Or most significant up to date is $2.1 million and settled for 100,000.
All right.
Now
That's
I'm waiting. I'm being very hopeful for a client who owns close to $5 million. I'm waiting for a decision right now, because he's in a situation where really I don't see any other way but just to have this settled. We offer $15,000.
yeah.
Um, so they are. It's not, and have the understanding, this is not for the clients that they are still in power and they sit on the top of the money and I just don't want to pay it. This is when you're experiencing hardship.
Right.
This is when you have hardship. Different things go wrong in life. Either you lose your business, or there's something going on with your health or with your life. You're experiencing different kind of hardships. Different situations happen in life, your personal life, personal taxes, or business taxes. And a lot of times people need help. And you cannot go on with the bill. The bill will travel after you, no matter where you go. If it's under your name, it ruins everything in life. You cannot get good credit. You cannot buy anything. This lien will stay under your name for years and years and years. So there is no escaping. You have to address that. You have to address the situation you are in to be able to move on with life and feel free. I can see from my clients, a lot of them, they're being simply depressed because they cannot get a loan for anything. They're afraid to open a bank account because they know it's going to be seized. If you own over $50,000, IRS can freeze your passport. You cannot travel, so you are really grounded.
Right.
You
Right.
cannot escape this. You cannot ignore this. You have to address it, and there are ways to get out of the business. So if you are in situations like that, so preparation is the key. Preparation to speed up the process. Organization, file taxes for every year that you own, even if you don't have money to pay it. So you're cutting time of preparation in half if you are current with your taxes. Have all the documents to prove your hardship, and then from there you can come to me, and I can help you to
Excellent.
straight up to finally have a good night's sleep, and not to lose your sleep over, and to restore your peace of mind.
No more letters, no more hiding on the phone, no more jumping. There was a time, I remember this one time, when I used to live at the end of my block, and the garbage man used to just come really quick and then disappear. And I was like, Oh my gosh, every time. And he'd come at night too. So it was one of those places where you had to put it in overnight. Most of the time, the garbage man comes in the morning, right? You put it in that night
Mhm.
and it comes in the next morning. This guy would just sneak up and come take it. And if I, every time I heard the garbage truck coming or any big truck coming down the thing, I'd be freaking out. And I think that's probably the same thing that would happen to someone every time if they owed money to the IRS. They'd be looking at their phone like every time to see what's going on, or every time you go to the mail, you don't want to open it because it's a problem. You want to get rid of that. You
No, they
want to
also
live
come
your life.
and pay you a visit. They
Yes.
don't call. They don't call to, excuse me, do you have time right now? They will
Mhm.
come and knock to your door, to your home door, or they come and visit your business. And imagine the panic of everybody when IRS agent comes into your place of work,
Yeah.
and
I
they're
know this. I know of this because when I was 19,
yeah,
that's how I got my job in my first like job in the accounting department at a law firm. I was working in records, and they were like, "Ryan, we need somebody to help us like go through these tax documents, blah blah blah." And I was like, "What happened?" It's like, "Oh, we're getting audited." And the guy showed up, and we're all sitting there in the legal library of this law firm, like pouring through these documents, trying to find these little items to put into the thing so that we could get up to the dollar amount that I
yeah,
guess they had fudged into the thing. But the bookkeeper was adamant. He was like, I have it. And we did. It was finally, it was okay. It's just that it was clear that it was necessary to go through it with a fine tooth comb. And then after that, they were like, yo, you're good at this. I was like, yeah. And they're like, come do accounting instead.
yeah.
Yeah. So it was interesting.
I had
That's
one
very
client.
interesting. But they were scared. Those guys were
Yeah,
all scared, and they were attorneys. You know what I mean? They were all the big name on the door, but he's like, "Is that guy still here?" Like literally, you walked down the hall, and they were like, "Is the guy still here?" They're asking me these questions. I'm like, yeah, he's right there. It's not that big a deal. But I guess for me, it didn't have that much significance. For him, he was like, "Oh my gosh, I could lose my whole practice." So I
I
get it.
had one client whenever IRS show up and was showing up at his place quite often. He
Mhm.
had back door
So
from
he
his
could run out.
office. He was like, "Who is there? Tell them I'm not there." Take his
Yeah.
briefcase and leave the building through the back door. So,
Yeah, it's scary. I understand it's scary, but I think people are more scared of it than they need to be. I guess it's it's an interesting thing that people will be more scared of that than some other things that I think could be just as detrimental or just as scary. But yeah, I guess the IRS can put you in jail if you messed up, but just apologize and give them back their money. How about that? Give them their money.
they
Make some
don't
sort of
really
plan.
care. They don't really care for apology or remorse. They
No,
just
they don't.
it's very it's like, I'm so sorry, I won't do it again. Okay, go home. No, it doesn't work that way. No,
Please, kind sir, do
no.
not
Some
put me
some
in
of the
jail.
agents, some of the agents are taking this very personal. I have to tell you that I met with some of them that they enjoy putting fear in your heart.
Wow.
Um, but they
Insect
have
authority, huh? Oh, you know
yes,
what? Let me shut up my mouth. I love all you IRS agents, every one of you. You're great guys. Hey, I personally would like to take you out for a drink. It's I don't want no
no.
problems.
Look, they are just doing the jobs. They are just doing
Yeah,
the jobs. If they
are they?
want to,
But you just told me that some of them don't just do the job. Some of them,
they enjoy maybe too much.
oh,
Maybe they
maybe too much.
do
Yeah,
too
that's a
much. Yes.
problem.
Um, During one of the conferences with New York State, I had a conference. I actually had to ask for this one lady to be removed from the room because she was attacking me personally, um, and I was representing my clients. So, like, I'm like, okay, we all came here to come to the resolution of the problem.
Right.
Why are you attacking me personally? So I asked for her to be removed from the room. I refused to deal with her because like that was not professional. That
Yeah.
was simply not professional. I get it. You're young. You're trying to prove yourself. You're trying to get a promotion. But please, we are all just doing our job. So
Yeah.
like, calm yourself down.
Mhm.
But beside the point, you have to know how to approach everything professional way.
Mhm.
Professional way. If you know what you're doing, that should be not a problem. But records from my clients are being very helpful. That's
Yes.
why I'm appealing right now. File your taxes, keep all your records. That will help your case proving your hardship,
Right.
because this is not when you're having problem. I truly believe that people don't uh, want to find themselves in a situation like that. This
No.
is not enjoyable thing. So if something happens in your life and you are in a problem, documentation is very important to prove that hardship.
Excellent.
And yes, and we're going from there. Don't hide anything. I will find out no matter what. I'll tell every client, if you have any properties, if anything, you have it, great. You want to keep it, great, but tell me about it so we will know how to deal with this. Instead, like, oh, your client has a building that is worth over $1 million, and he's telling me that he cannot pay 150,000. It's like,
The worst when they hide something for you. It's almost like an attorney, like finding out that there's evidence
yes,
of
yes.
of the glove.
So so I learned that I just run check for my clients. I just run check
Mm,
ahead of time, and I need the permission that they will allow me to do that.
good job.
You
Good
know,
job.
so it's just for their benefit, just for their benefit.
Yes.
Doesn't
Yes. Oh, I
doesn't
mean, what if they forgot about something? That's possible too. I
It's
mean, so
possible,
when you
absolutely.
do the yeah, so when you go digging, you can find it, right? But if they just don't remember, then it is what it is. Like mine, no, my family has property in Jamaica, and say I was in some sort of problem like that. Most of the time, I don't think about it. I live here. You know, I've lived here for, oh my gosh, it's 30 years this year, right? And I don't think about that, you know? And
Yeah, but
so,
that's your family, not you.
yeah, yeah. So,
Well, then,
but technically, because since people have passed away, some of it is mine. It's just that I still wouldn't consider it something that I would even bring up to the United States IRS because I wouldn't want to. I'd want to hide it anyway. And also, I just wouldn't, you know,
the offshore accounts.
it's technically what that is, right? An offshore account in Jamaica.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So,
Offshore
any
accounts.
final pep talk? You know, tell them, Agnes. Tell them how to not be scared and to move forward and get this done because uh, uh, we've got about 3 minutes left. I definitely want them
Okay.
to get the
So
idea that what's going on.
there is hope. There is hope. If there is not one way, then there's another way to resolve the problems that you're having.
Mhm.
If it's not going to be reduction, there will be a payment plan. There will be revisitation every 2 years. Some situations can be simply visited and asked to be on certain conditions. So every 2 years we can come back to that situation and see if we can resolve your problem any other way. But I didn't meet any kind of problem that I cannot resolve. One way or the other, you can be helped. So don't be afraid. File on time. If you have a problem, come to me and we will talk.
Excellent, excellent. So that, ladies and gents, is your tax preparation pep talk for 2023. But you could also, if you have issues with your 2021 taxes, your 2020 taxes, your 2019 or 2018 taxes, you can also bring those to Agnes Avasano at Tax Resolutions and Bookkeeping LLC. And her website has a form on it at nytaxresolutions.com. You go there, you tell her what your problem is, you tell her, give her your information, and she will contact you and let you know whether or not she can help you or not, right? And more than likely, she can. Like she says, she hasn't seen a tax problem that she wasn't able to resolve yet, right? That's what it's called,
That's
tax
correct.
resolutions
Yes.
and bookkeeping. All right, so you're off to do some painting now? That's what you're telling me?
Yes, the door
Mhm.
frames.
All right, all right.
My
So you have a good,
masterpieces. My masterpieces. Yes.
you have a good evening. And until next week, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for being with us here at Love, Death, and Taxes. If you have some information that you would like to have us discuss, you have questions that you would like us to answer, or you just like to reach out and tell us how you feel about the show. There it is, mailbag at lovedeathandtaxes.com. We are looking forward to hearing from you as we get into March.
Yes.
Fantastic of 2023. I can see things just moving and changing. It's a fantastic time for someone who's doing taxes like yourself, but then also it's the almost the end of the first quarter of the year, and if you are
Yes.
not pushing to see where your cash is going or getting your marketing done or getting your taxes resolved, all of that, this is the time to start thinking about it. Start thinking about it now, and don't wait until later when the recession we've been told is coming actually does sort of kind of arrive here, right? Let's get your business, let's get your house in order. Hmm? How
Yes.
about that? All
Yes.
right, very well. All
Thank you,
right, good
Dorothy.
night. Exactly, exactly. All right, ladies and gents, thank you so very much. All right, I'll see you later, Agnes. I'll see
Okay.
you next week. All right, bye
Bye.
bye.